Vaughan Jog Vlog.
Well, guys, I have some news for you. Peyton Manning, the beloved face of American football, a guy we turn to, he's the comfort food of all quarterbacks. He's not divisive. He is a unifier. He is Bud Light's new spokesman. At Bud Light, they're in some hot water, of course, and there has been a boycott. Pretty much no one drinking Bud Light for approximately a year. I thought that the whole thing was blown out of proportion. I don't have any issue with them saying, hey, football guys can enjoy our beer. Dylan Mulvaney can also enjoy it. They're not saying, screw the football guys, trans only. They're not doing that. But I think that there's a bigger thing to take away from this. Peyton Manning is a fake person. Let's play some of this. I've only seen the 30-second version, so I had to look for that on YouTube.
What do you have?
2 Bud Lights, please. Actually, make it around for the bar.
Make it around for the bar. Peyton has to look like such a good guy. We all know he's loaded. He's got a net worth. It's at least several $100 million. He can afford a round for the bar. I think that this is similar to when LeBron James shows up in Los Angeles and we have to have a commercial of all the kids in LA following him around. The whole thing is an ego stroke. Here we go. Yep. Personally handing him out. Who wants to catch a pass from Peyton Manning? Yep. Makes sense. Doesn't matter what jersey you're in. We can do this. Here, we'll throw it to this guy. You know what? Come to think of it, I haven't actually seen the 30-second version. I've seen a weird, different kind of version of this and it says 6 seconds. That can't be right. But it's almost like Emmitt Smith is not really in it. You'll see this version on occasion. That one doesn't even have Emmitt. But the one that I see, Emmitt is not mentioned by name. And it's more like in passing, he turns his head and I'm like, is that Emmitt Smith? That's the version I've actually seen on TV. Of course, Peyton Manning's going to get the screen time. It's a Peyton Manning ego stroke. But they both turn around and throw a pass. And it just seems so weird to think that Emmitt Smith not really known for throwing a pass. But that's the kind of like way we want to wrap this up. Strange. Hey, Emmitt, why, I wish we could have played together. Maybe hands him the rock, something like that. But Emmitt Smith is almost not in these ad. I swear, if you see this on TV, he's not in there. But I wouldn't really say, it is a bit hyperbole to come out and say a bunch of negative things about Peyton Manning if you don't back it up. All right? Well, Peyton Manning has some podcast or had a podcast. And I know of this occasion because Adam Carolla, whose podcast I kind of shamefully still listen to, he mentioned he was a guest on a show. Goes in to their podcast studio, sits down with an intern, and is interviewed by the intern. And he's like, when's Peyton going to get here? Oh, I'm the one who asked the questions. Then Peyton, he's kind of busy, so he's going to kind of fill in. The same thing that Meghan Markle got in trouble for. Look at this. Multiple sources told podcast-focused outlet Pod News that some interviews on the show were done by other staffers with her audio of Meghan questions edited in afterwards. Peyton Manning doing the same thing Meghan Markle got in hot water for. Oh, but he's such a beacon of hope for all of football. The Manning cast. Let's watch a game with the 2 Manning brothers and some guests chiming in. It's not the worst idea. I think it's an idea that works because the only thing in pop culture that people watch on television, evidenced by, the Emmys getting no kind of ratings whatsoever. Like I could type in Emmy ratings and you'll see that like they talk about record low on the Emmys. What has happened is we've gotten to a point where all the propaganda has to be around football. Like we are getting ever closer to something like that James Caan movie. Was it Rollerball? Where it's like there's the most popular sport in the world and everything seems to revolve around it. The tide rises and falls with the popularity of the sport. We have to get all the propaganda into football. We have to tell you to take the thing that goes in your arm that Kelsey is promoting, that I can't really mention because this is the free market platform that is actually censorship. But we can't have a talk show. Nobody watches the talk shows. You watch the bit afterwards, a day later. There's no need to interact with, well, there's no interaction, but you get a slice of the celebrity's life throughout the day, following them on Instagram. You see J-Lo on Instagram, we don't need to see her sitting down with Jimmy Kimmel. You put that talk show into football, and that's the Manning cast, which I guess you could say is the #1 talk show. I think the Manning cast is viewable on ESPN, which I don't have cable, and you probably don't either. But yeah, Peyton Manning, he is a phony.
If you appreciate a YouTube channel that doesn't just pad out content to get to the 8-minute mark so that it can hammer you with ad breaks, then you should subscribe to my son's channel. You just got done watching it.